this video, let's talk about why I chose anesthesiology. So, when I applied to medical school, I always had this thought process that I was going to become a cardiologist. I had done a research year in between undergraduate and medical school, and that was in cardiology. I was around cardiologists. I felt like that was kind of my calling. When I went to medical school, I similarly didn't kind of waver. My first 2 years were book studying, so I kind of, at that time, you don't really have things that will deter you from one field or the other. But it wasn't until third year when I went into my clinical rotations. I did an internal medicine rotation. I realized that, rounding and kind of the more non-procedural aspect of internal medicine really deterred me. I mean, it's a great field, but I felt like personally for me, it wasn't the right fit. And then I knew about anesthesiology. I have two anesthesiologists who are cousins. So I always kind of had that background about that field, but it wasn't until I did a rotation personally in anesthesiology where I realized that it had enough kind of procedural aspects to it to keep me entertained. But then at the same time, it was shift-based work where, you kind of work your shift and then don't take your problems home with you. So I felt like I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I wasn't thinking about money. I wasn't thinking about lifestyle. I kind of solely like the field of anesthesiology, and that's why I picked it. I didn't do any anesthesia research. My research was all cardiology. When I applied, I had done away rotations, and that is kind of how I got strong letters. And then that plus kind of my scores and grades were creating a whole package that allowed me to get into anesthesia residency. So that's kind of why I chose anesthesiology. And now that I've kind of gone through residency, I definitely feel like it was the right fit for me. I think there's a ton of procedures that kind of keep me entertained. And yeah, I think there's a lot of critical reasoning skills as well. I think it's a good combination of like critical care medicine, and like, that aspect of procedural heavy. I think if you're thinking about anesthesiology, it would be very helpful to do a rotation because it's definitely a field that I wouldn't like count out without doing. But that I could be biased, but that's my view on it.